Hello world, welcome back to Razor RC. I've been spending the last few days testing and tuning my team associated Reflex 14B. Just want to show you what upgrades I actually made and adjustments I've made. So my local track used to be an indoor high traction clay dirt track, and they recently just switched over to carpet, kind of a medium high grip carpet. Obviously much higher grip than dirt, but for carpet, not the super high ozite type style carpet. Anyways, just want to go through my buggy and show you the changes I made. First of all, I was testing a lot of different tires. These are LC Racing rally tires. So it's for the LC Racing EMB1, and they make just a set of 4 tires. They work pretty good. I also tried the WL Toys 144001 tires. Those are actually too much grip, so didn't work quite as well. I also used my stock tires that were sanded down to slicks, but those did not provide enough traction. I think maybe the stock tires on carpet might actually work, but these also work pretty well. Pretty high traction. Actually had to tune out some of the traction. So anyways, I've been running those and working pretty good. They are quite a bit smaller than the stock tires. So one problem is that you don't really have quite as much ride height. So landing jumps and stuff, not as much suspension travel, but that can be a bit of a challenge on a 1/10 scale track because you really just don't have as much shock travel for those giant jumps that they actually run. So that's what I got tire wise. And then on the front, I'm actually running these little white plastic spacers. I highly recommend you get something like that. Otherwise, every time you crash into something, these will jam up and your shocks will basically stop working. Also running the aluminum body shocks, so they're a lot smoother than the plastic ones. Plastic ones just have a little too much friction. They don't slide very smoothly, and they are kind of herky-jerky. So the aluminum ones are pretty nice. I like those a lot. Also running yellow springs, front and rear. So they come in a little 3-pack. These are the stiffest they make, and definitely I would recommend running yellow up front. Other than that, I'm also running a little more kick up in the front. So this buggy is super sort of twitchy on high traction because it's just such a short wheelbase. So putting the pills basically down so that you get a little more kick up just smoothens out the steering, makes it a little easier to drive. It's working out pretty well. And then electronics wise, I completely swapped out all the electronics. So the servo I'm running is a Savax 1250 MG. It's actually a little bit too long, and if you look at my buggy, you can see that the mounts are kind of like splayed out a little bit. So I just kind of forced it in there. I kind of cut one side, jammed that in there. Probably a little bit too long, but if you can make it work if you really want to. Running a Futaba Receiver with my Futaba T4PM. Really nice radio, high quality, definitely helps a lot. And then the ESC wise, if you've seen my review, I'm also running the Hobbywing 16BL30. Really nice ESC. Got the punch turned up to 9. I've got the brakes set down to 50%, which is plenty, I think, for high traction. And then on the motor side, I'm running this cheapo Surpass Hobby. It's a 28 by 38 motor, and that's pretty much the biggest motor you can fit a 28 width can. So I'm running a 28 width can, and there's a little insert here that you got to remove right there on the center tunnel, and you got to trim down this little plate here a little bit, but otherwise it fits pretty nicely. Running an 18 tooth pinion, 48 pitch. That's pretty much the smallest pinion you could fit in here. Other than that, you'd have to go something bigger, but with that motor, with that pinion combination, my buggy is running somewhere around 150 degrees or so after a full pack. So it's running cool enough, and I wouldn't really want to go too much bigger, especially on these tires. So that's working out pretty well. Rear, of course, I'm running the yellow springs again. Shock oil package, I'm actually running 35 weight up front and 30 or 27.5 weight in the rear. Haven't quite figured out which I like better. The damping is pretty good, but my truck's got these humongous jumps, and what happens is with this kind of lower ride height, the rear end slaps a lot off the face of the jumps, sort of donkey kicks it up in the air, and it's really hard to land it because it's just forward flipping all the time. So that's pretty much the thing I've been trying to tune out the most. Other changes I made is I flipped the spacer here from the back to the front, so that kind of lengthens the wheelbase, spaces it out a little bit. Also running the wider tracks, so there's actually inserts in the hubs, and those will actually widen the rear tires, by a couple more millimeters. Not sure if I like that better. It's a little more stable, but it also, I think, traction rolls a bit, so we'll have to see. And then camber link wise, I'm actually running the bottom holes on the front and the rear. That just lowers or raises the roll center, so it tends to slide a little more rather than roll a little bit more. Can still definitely traction roll quite a bit, but that helps tame it down a little bit. Makes it a little easier to drive. So yeah, I think that's pretty much in terms of changes I made. So I got a little running video I'll throw up right after this. Yeah, sorry about the angle. I didn't have my GoPro mounted quite straight on my head, so it's kind of tilted a little bit. Apologies for that. Also, there's one jump you'll see I really never double it. I just kind of single it because it's just too hard to jump that because the rear end was just slapping way too much and just donking a little too much. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video. This is sort of my first time running on carpet. I've ran once before at 702 Raceway, and then my local track, they just installed it like 2 days ago. So definitely a challenge getting used to it, but a lot of fun. And this buggy's working a lot better now. So hope you can tell a difference from my first track video. And anyways, enjoy. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notifications button, and look for more videos soon.
Yeah.